Go.
Oh, I got to get the camera right, Flicka. Hello, Flicka. There you are. Ah, right.
My
Okay.
friend Flicker.
My friend Flicka. Right. Um,
Mm.
Jen says you want to know what she thinks about solidarity. So Jen thought it was a good idea for me to also participate and say something about solidarity, as I'm dyed in the wool kind of unionist, and so I thought I would put my 2 cents in if it's okay. And my my take on it is that solidarity is a form. It's a form of action, and um, it involves the combination of individuals. And this combination of individuals is taken upon because the individual, him or herself, is not powerful enough to solve the problem that is confronting the individual. So they combine with other individuals, and because the other individuals have an interest that's similar to what these individuals have. I mean, they have a similar interest in achieving something, whatever the thing is. Um, but that's for them to decide. Now, like for instance, we take a concrete example of the union movement, and the idea behind solidarity is for workers to pursue their interests in controlling what they produce and controlling under the conditions under which they produce goods and services. And so, as an individual, the worker is relatively powerless because the worker, as an individual, confronts something that's already organized in solidarity, and the solidarity that's occurring is occurring between these people who have a specific interest in getting as much as they can out of their workforce.
Mm.
So what happens is that the workers, if they wise up, they figure it out that well, the boss is organized. Why shouldn't I be organized? And if we're organized, we'll have more power to achieve our common interest, which is to control our working conditions and
Okay,
wages.
Younghead, Mikey Head. So I call him Younghead and Mikey Head because that's his real name.
Mm.
So isn't that a political definition of solidarity? And isn't there some other definition that's deeper and more profound and more psychological?
Well, uh, there may be, and that's probably more your bailiwick than mine. But the idea behind solidarity, as far as I understand it,
Okay.
is that it means that you recognize that as an individual, you don't have the ability to solve whatever problems that you want to solve. I mean, they could be emotional problems, like for instance, you feel alienated from everybody else, and you don't have any friends, and you're all by yourself, and you feel put upon by the world, and so forth and so on. Well, I mean, if there are other people who feel the same way you do, then what you do is you get in solidarity with them, and perhaps create a community where people are more attuned to paying attention to each other's needs as opposed to being narcissistic.
You look like one though, so better watch out. The wind might change. Um, Something might happen.
Cooper's mild ale, by the way. Only in Australia.
Is it Australian? Is it strange? Australian? Australian? We surely hope. Um, did you do that? Your hat suddenly went.
Yes.
Okay.
I shan't wiggle my ears though, because I actually don't. I don't have that ability.
Mm.
I used to know guys that did. Oh, go ahead. Solidarity.
So you're gonna sing Solidarity Forever, just like one verse, or
Gee, I actually need the songbook to do that.
Solidarity? I can't
I tell
sing.
you what I'll do. I'll go get the songbook,
Yeah,
and then in the
we'll be right
meantime,
back.
you will discuss the concept of solidarity from, say, African cultural points of view.
Yeah, forever. Au revoir.
I shall return, and you will hear solidarity forever.
Forever. It's going to be a long time, maybe an eternity. So, from an African viewpoint, which is my origin, solidarity, it's just really instinctive. I mean, why wouldn't it be? My background, though, was that everybody had to pull together, otherwise it wouldn't work. Because I'm white, so you can see by the color of my skin that I belonged to a tribe that was white. But not white by definition, white by virtue of maybe British sort of general origin. Didn't have to be that specific. And it was just a fact that from the basic level of our being, our emotional being, we just had to pull together. Because the emotional being was absolutely exquisite. The emotional being was a state of reverence toward nature and toward life and toward our very existence. It was a very reverential state. And if you have that reverential mode to your being, you pull together, because even if you happen to suffer, or even maybe to the extent that you die, you still have that sense that the fundamental core of what is beautiful and what is the the magic of existence doesn't necessarily die with you. In fact, you're driven forward by that magic of kind of just existence. Some people might say it's a racial magic, but I think that that's pejorative. I really do. I think that's what's been done to my group of people, my tribe, by people in modernity. They make a pejorative judgment. They say it was just a racial feeling or a racial drive. But it was a much more magical, much more core, much more nature-oriented drive that said, well, if I die, then what is magical about me? What is magical about my range of being, which just happened to include my ethnicity, just happened to include my culture, that continues. And so if you have that in mind, you can actually sacrifice, because it doesn't feel like one. It actually isn't a sacrifice. It's an extension of your being. So to change the mode of understanding, um, to change your modern mode of understanding back into the more archaic mode of understanding, back into my mode of understanding, uh, to sacrifice meant to extend yourself, not to sacrifice or limit yourself. And that's the opposite way of viewing things. Now Mike will sing us a jolly old song. Mike is my communist. No, are you communist? Are you communist?
Depends on what you're talking. What
Yeah,
you mean by that?
depends on who's talking. Yeah, Mike is my communist pal. He's actually married to me. It's a further extension of his self. He's going to sing you a beauteous song called "Solidarity Forever." Get away, Mike! Look at the camera. That's where the camera is.
Oh,
right
sorry. This is from the
IWW's. Show them the book.
Little Red Songbook.
Show the inside of the book.
And
the book has an inside,
both the
inside and an outside.
the music staff and the treble clef and things like this, and also it has the lyrics. So I'll just say I won't burden you with the whole song, because well, nobody has that much patience today. So
Nobody.
anyway, I'll just sing the first part, and you'll notice it comes from a song that is associated with Abraham Lincoln, John Brown's Body.
Put your head up and your eyes up. That's the way. He's got good eyes, hasn't he?
When the Union's inspiration through... Whoops, I started too high.
That's a bit Irish, Maggie.
When the Union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? But the Union makes us strong.
The chorus, please.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the Union makes us strong.
That's very good. Is it an Irish accent?
No, it's Polish.
It's Polish. Is there something that is related to the Irish accent within the union movement in Australia and elsewhere? Maybe.
In the sense of
Cameras up there.
the like the flag that comes attached to these days the CFMEU. It's a flag that was first raised in Australia by workers trying to keep the British from taxing them. They used to tax them.
Kind of like the equivalent of the Tea Party.
They would just tax them for being trying to find gold, and if they didn't find gold, well, they still have to pay the taxes. And so there was this big revolt that took place. You know about it because you were born here. So I'm not going to tell you what it was.
Don't you dare. Ned Kelly. Okay.
No.
The Wordle.
No. The big one. The big one that took place, I think, around Ballarat.
Ballarat.
Yeah.
What's that one, Mikey? The stars. Now we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. It's just unbelievable. We'll press pause. Okay. You're on.
Okay, it's the Eureka Stockade. The Eureka Stockade was the culmination of the revolt against the British. And there were a lot of Irish involved, but they were all workers who had staked claims around the Eureka area and therefore were hit with this tax. And so that happened in 1854. And one of the guys who ended up in the Industrial Workers of the World was Monty Miller. And Monty Miller was a veteran of the Eureka Stockade. And so the connection to solidarity is that these guys, and I include the women, they were in this revolt, and it was a revolt against the British and obviously the Irish, who would have
a revolt against the Irish, no, a revolt by the Irish.
A revolt by the Irish, but it wasn't because they were Irish. It was because they were opposed to this tax being imposed by the British, which was, in a way, they were asserting their sovereignty. and saying,
And solidarity.
and through solidarity, because the individual actually can't achieve solidarity all by him or herself, or sovereignty, for that matter. They have to do it in concert with other people. So you have to make that sort of, compromise, and try to get along with them. Although, you probably don't like a lot of what they're doing or who they are or anything like that, but you have common interests.
Well, once again, to summarize it all up, thank you, young Mikey here. Thank you. Well, once again, to sum it all up, the Mikey, sorry, that's a bit Japanese. The Mikey has given a presentation.
German too.
And German. It's the Axis of Evil. The Axis of Evil has given his presentation. Russia has it. No, never mind. Okay, Russia was our side. No, so Axis of Evil, Italy. What did they say?
Depends on what era you're talking about.
Yeah,
if you're talking about the Reagan era, then during the Reagan era, the Axis of Evil was Russia.
Yeah, no, but what about the
okay. Back in the day, back in the first actual solidarity alliance between the fascists, that was called the Axis, and it was Germany, Italy, and Japan.
And did they say the, which is the dead giveaway? If you're evil, you will say the before something where you don't really need to say the. That's how you're known as evil. But anyway, so what were you saying? That the no, sorry. Now I've lost my track. But basically, Mike gives his political view about not the Axis of Evil, solidarity.
Oh, solidarity.
Against the Axis sometimes, but
well, I mean, there was solidarity against the Axis. That was called. They were called the Allies, and the Allies were in solidarity against the Axis and the Axis.
But that's just politics.
It's a question. Now, this is very important because this is dialectics. The dialectics between form.
Briggs.
Dialectics between form and content. Solidarity is a form. What you fill it with, that's the content. And what you fill it with are your desires and your interests. And when they are held in common with others, you can have more power. But you can have a solidarity for murdering 50 million people or something like this. That would be it would give you more power, but it would turn the intent of, say, union solidarity on its head.
Sorry, Mike looks shorter, but it's just a shorter chair. It's not that I'm necessarily taller than he. You can see he's actually taller than I am.
Especially when you're sitting down.
So, just as a conclusion, Mike spoke about the political sense of solidarity. Thank you to Mike. Yay! Mike. Political, yay! And then I spoke to a very small degree, maybe about some. This is Japanese. Some.
No, not just political. Industrial.
Yeah, okay, got another word. And I spoke of an aspect of, an aspect to some degree of about more of a cultural, social, emotional solidarity. So there's a bit of a difference there. My origins predispose me toward the latter. And Mike has much more of a kind of a structural understanding of the meaning of solidarity. But mine is, I just know, like this person I will have solidarity with. I will have a sense of unity with, because I support their inner being. I support their existence, their ongoing existence. That's really where it's at. And in a different way, Mike's is also, I support your ongoing existence by uniting with you.